Welcome back to another episode of We Talk Fit.
With Mish and Dean.
Now we're on.
Now we're on. Fire away. I'm just going to have a stretch.
Let's have a little bit of a chat about how your relationships may have changed, improved, or how you had to change the way you showed up for family and friends and clients during that period.
So the mental side of stuff had definitely started playing a bigger part than or at least I thought it was, the medical side of stuff. You're just listening to experts, right? Doing what you're told.
Mm-hmm.
The mental side of stuff was definitely having more of an effect on me. So like emotional a lot. Wasn't able to like do like a full day of work through like, whether in hindsight now we know, like anxiety and stress, trying to run a business. I had my own company. So the mental side of stuff was having a big impact on conversations, relationships. I just basically didn't want to talk to people.
Yeah.
Didn't want to deal with the outside world, which is obviously, as you know, very unlike me.
Very unlike you.
So yeah, that was, apparent to people. Anyone within a big, a decent circle of me could see, right, this isn't Dean. It's not who he is. But at the same time, we were doing the right things and speaking to the right people.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said before, we had access to psychologists through the oncology department. And you just build an understanding of those thoughts and why they're having such a toll on you or an effect on you.
Yeah.
What matters, what doesn't really matter, the things that you're actually stressing about and anxious about don't actually matter as much as you think they do. It's just at the time you're putting more weight on it.
Yeah.
That's a great pun, putting more weight on it. But I had an issue now looking back and again through like analysing it with the experts, that I was putting too much emphasis on how I appeared to my loved ones and family physically, like how I looked. And they summed it up brilliantly when they said, look, out of all of the people that you hold close to, so like if you list your five closest people, right, how many of those people are with you based on how you look? And obviously the answer is none of them.
None of them. Yeah.
They're with you for who you are and, what you can do and all that side of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start understanding that way of thinking, and it's not going to make it suddenly better.
Yeah.
But it just lets you appreciate like I said, the weight you're putting on things that don't matter as much.
Yeah. Okay.
So like the relationships changing, I guess Leanne being the like absolute rock that she is, she took on a bit more of the household strain and the life strain for our little unit.
Yeah.
So that I could just concentrate on my mental health.
Yeah.
The kids wouldn't have known a lot of difference because that's what you do. You try and protect them from the things that kids shouldn't be worrying about. Yep. Kobe was tiny, so wouldn't have remembered anything.
Yeah.
Dylan was just shielded from me being at my most upset, but was obviously around for all the other good stuff.
Yeah.
And then, close friends and things were aware of what I was going through. So just, offered support, I guess. And some of them were a shoulder to cry on. Some of them were just someone to catch up with and have a coffee with. And those things are important.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be, you don't suddenly have to become an oncologist and be an expert.
Yeah.
It's just be a shoulder to cry on, or just lend an ear.
Being that extra little bit of support.
And that's why the way I am with people now. It's like I can spot a mile off genuine like anxiety or issue, then I don't want to fix your problem for you, or if I can, I will.
Yeah.
But if you need someone to lean on for 5 minutes, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I coach as well.
Yeah, which is why you're such a good coach. Yeah.
I'll give you that $100 later on.
Take a sec now. No. So with those changes, with how you had to show up differently for those relationships, tell us about how you went with having to record a best man speech and going through that process.
Yeah.
Of how you could show up for your friends as well, or tried to show up for your friends during that time.
So I had at the time when I was aesthetically at my least Dean.
Yeah.
So carrying the most weight, not looking like my normal self and things. I had two pretty big events. So one was my brother's wedding back in the UK, which obviously being extremely close to my brother, I was supposed to be, well, the family was supposed to be flying back for. I was to be best man.
Yep.
The oncologists, because of the monitoring they had to do with my treatment and side effects and all that, I wasn't allowed to fly.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a big hit to take. You want to be there for a huge occasion.
Yeah.
But you come to terms with you're not allowed to, so that's decision's done. So we decided the best man speech would be recorded. So I actually did that on the foreshore down at Sorrento. So it was good for we got this. It was a beautiful wedding day in the UK from all accounts, but still, it's not quite
Not
the beach at Sorrento. So we just videoed it all, and obviously I went through my speech and did that, and then they basically at my brother's wedding in the UK played that on a projector screen in front of the whole crowd and stuff. And apparently it went down really well. I think there was a few crying moments from a lot of people, because obviously people at that wedding would know my circumstances here and why I wasn't there. So there was that that was pretty tough to not be able to be there for that. So you just you just make the best of what you can.
Yep.
And then I was also asked to be in the bridal party for my cousin's wedding. So I was one of the groomsmen. And again, the challenging one with that is obviously there's a lot of photos of that wedding.
Yeah.
And while it was like amazing and as it should be for their wedding day, when I see those photos, it reminds me of where I was at, physically, mentally, how I looked, lots of different things. It's fine now, but that was tough looking at the photos and stuff from that day, because I was not this deep.
Yeah. At the time, yeah.
But it is what it is. It's just, I guess it's just an episode and
come out
just a stage.
Side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those were two, pretty emotional, big occasions to try and go through whilst you're
trying to navigate
the medical stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So,
I'm going to send you bits when I clip these out. Because you'd be surprised how many times we both do this. I'm going to send you some of these little clips.
You're like, well, we can do some behind the scenes too.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So a little bit of reflection.
Yeah.
And everything on your recovery and sort of coming out of it and being able to get back into a bit of fitness and stuff. So bit of a turning point in your mindset. How do you feel, or can you pinpoint if there was a time where that time was where you had a bit of a mindset where you get to realize that you get to do this and it's not a chore, when you can start coming back into the training, into the gym?
So
she had the hoodie and everything on.
Yes. So like I think we've got to stop looking for perfect, and this is again how I coach and how I deal with my even friends and family and stuff. It's like it might never be perfect, so you just start wherever you can start, and it'll get better.
Yeah.
So through working with the psychologists and learning how to understand anxious feelings, become more aware of them, but not let them dictate things. I got the confidence to get back in the gym. So both from being petrified that my strength had gone, definitely aware of how I looked and not looking like I felt like I should, but in hindsight, it didn't matter. I went from like on a performance level being able to do, let's just say 15 to 20 chin-ups with 40 kilos chained around my waist, to not being able to do one or two bodyweight ones. Yeah. So that had happened in that whole episode of medical drama.
Yeah.
And then the aesthetical side of it, going into the gym, when I got back in there, I would wear like a hoodie, baseball cap, like pull the hood over. You'd be lucky if you saw like a small section of my face.
Yeah.
And that was just me trying to hide, I guess. And now that I know, looking back, placing too much value on what I thought other people could see. And then I think I must have been doing something one day after, I don't know how long I'd been back training for, a couple of months or something. And I remember a lady who I used to spot every morning. We'd always say, morning, I was training one day and it must have been getting warmer. Obviously, the hoodie had to come off and I didn't have a cap on. And she said morning to us and I said morning. And it wasn't until I spoke to her that she knew who I was. And she'd said morning to me like every morning for a long time.
Yeah.
But I'd been hiding.
Yeah.
And she was like, I had no idea that's what you looked like under there. So yeah, it's just an interesting part of that whole
something that's sort of stuck, a memory that's sort of stuck with you from that
journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like trying to touch back on why I am the way I am with people, we're all placing value on different things. And it's, I've clients that might not want to train in front of a mirror because they're concerned with how they look and stuff. And it's trying to use the mirrors as a different tool for technique and things and not placing as much value on what other people
what you think.
Yeah, and it's so that's again something else I've learned on my journey about how other people's journeys can fluctuate, yeah. So that was a bit of a turning point, just being able to get back in the gym. Or I can't pinpoint the day when I goes, right, this is me going back. It was just always hanging around in the background that I would have to get back to looking after that side of stuff.
Yeah.
Getting out of the house instead of sitting stewing about things and pondering. That's not going to help anxiety, depression, stress. Getting up and moving physiologically, there's no getting away from it. It's going to help those feelings be better dealt with on whatever level that exercise is.
Cool. So when you got the news about being in remission, was that after stepping back into the gym?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So remission's like a bit of a weird one, and I'm sure if anybody's been through cancer battles, it's probably different for everybody. My experience was that I had to go for like monthly scans, then 3 monthly scans, and then 6 monthly scans. And obviously, if they're clear, they'll eventually start extending that time period between scans.
Yep.
And I think it was 2 or 3 years of clear scans with no markers on before I saw on a bit of paper on a report in remission. So it's probably about 4 or 5 years-ish after the initial
diagnosis,
when I guess you could class me as being in remission. But even after that, you still have to go for regular scans and checks.
Yeah.
Full body, for me, with it being melanoma, full body skin checks.
Yep.
And I would still be going for PET scans, I think 6 months. So yeah, that's part of that whole process.
Sort of 4 to 5 years now in
remission.
Classified as remission.
Yeah.
What does health mean to you now, with everything that you've gone through and how you coach your clients and how it's impacted how you sort of coach yourself towards your clients instead of just fitness, just looks, macros, all that sort of stuff?
Well, I think we did that episode on like, what is fitness, and I think that's probably the summary of what you've just asked is like what I think is health or fitness or being healthy might not be the same for someone else, of course.
Yeah.
And it's like what matters to me doesn't necessarily matter to someone else.
Of course.
Personally, I think it's a combination of taking your body to as functional a position as you need it to be operating at, plus a little bit.
Yeah.
We mentioned about having a little bit of reserve, strength or speed or whatever. And then aesthetically, whilst I'm not saying that everybody has to look a certain way or like this person or that person, you don't need to compare. Become someone that you could potentially be happy with.
Someone that you're proud.
Yeah, and for me, and again, it's a personal thing. I'm not suggesting everybody has to feel the same way, but I want to represent a man that is proud of his appearance to my family, because I want my family, Leanne, I want Leanne to have a fit and active husband, but I want my kids to see me setting a standard on pride, appearance, respect, those values. They matter a lot to me. Of performance. I want to be able to sprint or kick the ball with Dylan again and never worry about those things.
Have a little dance with Cody.
Exactly. I'm shit, but it might have to happen at some point. And then also, like we touched on at the very start there, none of us know what's around the corner. So we really should be putting ourselves in the best position to deal with something if it rears its ugly head.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
And that's kind of how I coach.
Yeah.
Sorry to go a long-winded way of answering your question. But that's why I fully sympathize with whatever struggle someone's having on a mental or physical level, whether it's in the gym environment or outside, and I'll try and meet them at where they're at.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to be somewhere that you're not capable of or
Ready
to be. Yeah, that's a great way of saying it. Ready to be at. But also I'm with you. So I'm definitely supportive with my clients more than any other thing. And then very technical, because if you can go back to the coaching side of stuff a bit more, be very technical and teach them the right habits rather than trying to cut corners.
Yes.
But yeah, just supportive. And we're always learning. Like some things that work with one individual might not work with another.
Yeah.
That could be inside the gym or outside the gym.
Everyone's very different.
Be open-minded, and we don't know everything.
Yeah.
None of us. Not even me.
We wish, but we don't.
Not even me. Yeah.
If there's one piece of advice from your journey that you want listeners to sort of take away from your story, what would that be?
You're going to try and make me put one thing out there. That's impossible. So the obvious one, given the type of diagnosis I have and stuff, would be make sure you're aware of your body. If it's, you're like us, fortunately here in Perth, not this morning, mind Jesus, but be aware of your body and moles, skin checks, all those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going through stuff, physical gym related stuff, stress, anxiety, whatever you want to label it as, talk to people. Even the simplest conversations, and it doesn't have to be with an expert, although I would recommend that for some people, obviously. It can just soften the blow.
Mm-hmm.
You're not carrying so much load. You can lighten that load just by having a conversation with people.
Yeah.
I say this to my kids all the time. Just be polite and friendly to people. It might just help someone's day become that much better. That's that whole cliche thing, but yeah, just...
It is, but it's true.
Imagine yourself on your worst day, you're struggling with some stuff, and if somebody smiled at you and said hello, how better you'd feel. Just be that person for other people.
Yeah.
And then obviously we, or myself, I take that into my sessions with my clients.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do I best support them today? How do I best make myself available to them? And people will look at my coaching style and see a lot of banter and a lot of that. I'm sure some $1 million coach out there would say it's almost unprofessional, but if I can best support that person, I'm going to get more out of them.
Yes.
Performance-wise, I'm not on about anything else.
Yeah.
If we're just solely concentrated on the performance, other things are going to get neglected.
Yeah.
In my eyes. And there are more important things in life than a number on the end of a bar.